Turki Alalshikh announces Night of Champions. Main event, David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde headlines the ring for on November 22 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, live on the Zone. His Excellency Turki Alalshikh officially announced the ring for the Night of Champions today, headlined by David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde on November 22nd at the ANB Arena, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The event will be shown on the Zone. The co-main event is a welterweight clash between WBO welterweight champion Brian Norman Jr. defends his title against Devin Haney in a co-feature bout. Haney now gets a quick title shot after making his debut at welterweight last May. There's a kickoff press conference this coming Friday at the Hard Rock, Times Square, New York. It was revealed that the full Ring 4 card is going to be David Benavidez on the main event versus Anthony Yarde, Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr., the co-main event. Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes is going to be for the lightweight WBO title. It is a vacant title formerly held by Keyshawn Davis. Now it's going to be Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes for the vacant WBO title. Also on the card, Jesse Pam Rodriguez versus Fernando Daniel Martinez for the WBC Super Flyweight Championship. Jesse Pam Rodriguez now has a record of 21 wins, undefeated, 14 victories by KOs, as he unification fight against the WBO champion Pumelela Kapu, who has a record of 11 wins, undefeated, 3 draws, 8 victories by knockout. This coming July 19, Rodriguez must win for him to face the WBA champion Fernando Martinez on November 22nd. The fights on the card had been leaked last week but without a date in November. Today, Turkey filled in the date and the venue in Riyadh, using Anthony Yarde as the challenger for the WBC Light Heavyweight Championship. Benavidez hasn't pleased fans. The ones who know Yarde have seen him knocked out twice and failed world title challenges, and they're not interested in paying to see him get blown out of the water by Benavidez. A better choice would have been to use Beterbiev as the opponent for Benavidez. The trilogy that Beterbiev, who's already 40 years old, thought would happen this year against Bivol is no longer happening. It's now unknown when it will happen. The trilogy bout between the two former undisputed light heavyweight champions, Bivol and Beterbiev, was supposed to happen later this year, but now it has become uncertain if when will the third action will gonna happen. Both Beterbiev and Bivol requested Turki Alalshikh to let other organizers handle the event. It was reported a few days ago that the fight will happen in Russia, and Turki Alalshikh gave both Bivol and Beterbiev his blessing. So it sounds like we won't see a trilogy between Bivol and Beterbiev this year. And if that's the case, then most likely it will happen next year. Also, another hindrance for the Bivol versus Beterbiev tiebreaker is that the IBF has ordered Bivol to defend his IBF title against the number 1 mandatory challenger, Michael Eifert of Germany. So even this pesky IBF rules, I think Bivol will drop his IBF crown to get Eifert out of his way so that the trilogy between Beterbiev and him will finally happen, and let them settle the score and see who is the best between the both of them. So it's better so that they will have a tiebreaker. And still, as we all know, Bivol still has the 2 belts. WBA and WBO titles, so that the fight is still exciting because it's still a fight for two major world titles. Now looking back to this major announcement from Turki Alalshikh, so for this next Riyadh season Night of Champions, this is going to be another spectacular card that only Turki Alalshikh can deliver. All four major bouts: Benavidez versus Yarde, Norman versus Haney, and I'm also excited for this announcement: Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes. The fight, or this fight, I'm sure, will be another banger of a showdown. Both fighters are young, talented, undefeated. Both of them are hungry for a world title. They're looking to grab their first major world title. This is the WBO Lightweight Championship. Both of the fighters have a high knockout ratio, but I will give Mason the slight edge as of the moment due to his ring IQ, speed, and power. And I believe he fought the better opponents compared to Noakes. And but I'm not sleeping on Sam Noakes, because this British fighter, this fighter from the UK, can also crack and has a pretty decent ring IQ. I'm going to make a separate video for the major fight breakdown between Mason and Noakes. So let's go to the bout between Bam Rodriguez versus Fernando Martinez. This bout is definitely a great addition to this card, a super flyweight unification bout. Rodriguez currently holds the WBC title, while Martinez has the WBA championship. But before all of this, Rodriguez still has another unification bout to take care of, and that against the current WBO title holder, Pumalela Cafu. The unification showdown will take place at the Ford Center, San Francisco, California, on July 19. Now, the major question here: will the Rodriguez versus Martinez fight will still push through, regardless Bam wins or loses to Cafu? So that remains to be seen. Should Cafu beat Bam, we might see Cafu versus Rodriguez. So we will see what will happen. But given the fact that Cafu is 11-1 underdog against Rodriguez, I think no one is expecting Cafu to win, and that includes Turki Alalshikh. So that's the reason why he already announced the Rodriguez versus Martinez unification bout, even though the fight between Cafu still hasn't been decided yet. But you know, as what they say in boxing, anything can happen. As cliche as it may sound, sometimes the unexpected does happen in boxing. So once again, this is a great announcement, major announcement from Turki Alalshikh. Boxing is in good hands because of this man. So we will see in another development or next development of this announcement. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, boxing fans.